Right, here's an average day in the UK. You wake up in your heavily taxed house, the house that you had to pay tax on your earnings to be able to save up the deposit for, but then also you need to pay a lump sum stamp duty tax to be able to buy that the government needed. And of course, they need you on a subscription, so you've got to pay your monthly council tax. You go downstairs, you turn on your tax telly, a telly that you need a license to be able to watch, and you look on the news and they're talking about raising taxes again. You go to make yourself a cup of coffee and some breakfast, all goods that you've been taxed on. You then decide to drive to work, get in your heavily taxed vehicle to drive on the road. As soon as you hit that pavement, you owe road tax. On your way to work, you drive through a low emission zone. So then you get taxed again. You get to your job, you do your work. Your employer has to pay corporation tax on the money that the company earns to then be able to pay your wages. But you're not trusted with your wages, so the government tax you before you even see them when you're an employee. At least if you're in a business, you have an opportunity to offset the tax. So you're taxed everywhere your whole entire life, and guess what? When you die, you're taxed again. On your deathbed. It's called inheritance tax, which is at 40%. So the government want 40% of everything that you've been taxed on throughout your whole entire life. So if you have 2 children, they only get 30% of what you want to leave behind. The game is rigged. The game is rigged. You're not allowed to create generational wealth. You're not allowed to get rich. They will tax you to death. You have to find a way out. You have to create an escape. But only the rich and wealthy know how. Follow for more.